Here we go. The final week of NWA before we move finally to NWA 77. So we're excited about that. Of course, when I say we, I mean me. And of course, my NWA ride or die, Miss Fiona Loughran, evening fee.
Good evening, my lover. You all right?
I'm okay. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, it is Thursday. Yeah.
I know, I was thinking about that earlier. I thought it was Friday today, and then I realised it's not. So I'm all over the
Disappointing.
place this week.
Yes. Well, I'm disappointed now because I wish it was Friday. But it is Friday tomorrow, of course. So we do get some pleasure in knowing that. But anyway, look, NWA Power last week before 77. This week, this coming Saturday, Samhain is being taped. Looks stacked.
What a stacked card. Holy shit. Like, I am so jealous of everyone who's going to be there this weekend.
And NWA made a good point of they were showing now you can get 4 tickets for less than $100. So that's pretty good, isn't it?
That's
If you
not
can,
bad, yeah.
it's pretty good, isn't it? Apologies if you can hear some sound effects. I'm going to get that removed. So just bear
Oh, I
with
never
me
heard
while I get
anything there.
you
So
you can't hear anything.
I no, I can hear you, but I didn't hear any sound
Good,
effects.
because I can hear myself, and it may mean that everyone can hear Mike Mondo. But if they can hear Mike Mondo, they can't anymore because for some reason it flashed up that that was on
No,
mute.
never heard them. You're good.
Cool. Well, it may come on. If it does, you heard Mike Mondo with a special guest appearance. Very, very brief special guest appearance, nevertheless. Anyway,
Random.
yeah, totally random. Let's get on with it. Speaking of Mondo, it's actually quite a good fit because Power started with the Lost and Mondo and Slade, which I still think is the best tag team, one of the best tag teams in the NWA, and
Definitely
history.
formidable. And let's be fair, anyone with Aaron in their corner's got an advantage.
That was what I was going to say. Mondo and Slade did indeed have Aaron Stevens, BFT, conspicuous by their absence, still in Dubai or wherever they said he
Or
was
wherever
last
they
week.
are. I can't remember. They said the other week, didn't they?
Mm, they did. And quite an interesting one. The Lost, Misery, and Lev. Two different hair colors in that one as well for those. A bit like yourself, Fee. Hair colors. And yeah, there you go.
I need my roots done. Holy shit.
There you go. I don't have that problem, of course. Four guys though that I really enjoy watching in the ring here.
Yeah.
Uh, Lev and Misery are just tremendous talents in there. Slade for me, if he doesn't win an NWA championship in the next 12 months, something is not quite right.
I think I'd agree with you on that one.
He is just immense. Mondo's Mondo. We know Mondo. We love Mondo. But Slade, even in this match, Slade was incredible in this. I mean,
Yeah. It was everything that I kind of thought it was going to be.
yeah. As soon as I saw the match, I loved it. I mean, there was good tag team continuity from both sides.
Yeah. Although, can't lie, felt a little bit sorry for Alex Misery in the first half of the match.
Literally just said on here, Misery must love punishment because
The masochist.
he was getting in punishment in his droves, and he only going. Billy made a good point on commentary though they were talking about Mondo, and he said, "Well, where's Rolando?"
Yeah, we've not seen him for a very, very long time. El Jefe is conspicuous in his absence.
He is. He very much is. And do you know who else that we're missing, especially around this time of year? Where's Yarbo and Ruffo gone?
Oh, man, the clowns. Bring in the clowns.
Bring in the clowns.
No,
Get
don't bring
them.
in the clowns. We don't like clowns.
I love Yarbo and Ruffo.
No comment.
Shocking behavior.
No,
Anyway,
not talking about the wrestling, obviously. I'm just talking about the whole clown thing.
B's not a fan of clowns, everybody.
No, we don't like
And
clowns.
clown mask next week.
No.
No. Anyway, after a really good match, there was the gut check that got the job done for Mondo and Slade. I think I went and put on there that I thought that was Mondo's best match since coming to the NWA.
Okay, I'm not going to say yay or nay to that. I can't, I'd need to sit and think about that and maybe rewatch some of them, but I thought they looked good. As a tag team, I definitely think they're going to be up there at the top of the division very, very soon,
Yeah, if the
chasing those tag belts.
well, I wouldn't want to. Well, I wouldn't really want to be them to challenge the tag. Well, at the moment, tag champions are of course Knox and Murdoch. but that can all change.
Hmm.
And in a minute, we'll talk about Knox and Murdoch, and we wouldn't want to challenge them either. To the guys, all the Southern Six are the others, right?
Yep.
It's been a while since we've seen them tag on there. Anyway, moving on to the power station. Now, look, this is the second week in a row. Well, not even the second week, maybe the third week. Bit of a rant here. I told you 2 weeks ago that Tiffany Nieves was kind of, you know, she come out of the locker room with the two blokes, and it was obvious what had
Hmm.
happened. This week, it was the turn of Kylie Page to try and butter up the lawyer that was in the Cuthbert Isles thing, and she wants in. She's been disqualified, but her family is still in, so technically she's in. But she was kind of hinting that she would do anything to get back in there. She stuck her tongue out. She don't know. I'm not a fan of the way they're presenting the women in backstage here in the NWA.
I gotta agree with you there. I kind of feel like that's taken us back about 2 decades.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, of course, Carly and Tiffany, very attractive people. Yes, they're going to get attention, but you rightfully said there, that's like 2 decades ago. We're in a situation now where, you know, we're all equal. We always were equal. It was just never perceived that way. And I just don't like, it's not in very good taste, I don't
I'm
think.
not a fan of it.
No, me either. And to do better with your women, you portray them very good when they get in the ring.
Just makes me wonder who's writing these segments
Who's writing this shit?
and who's okay in it.
And and also to a degree, and this isn't trying to push the blame onto the women, but stand up for yourselves a bit here.
Yeah, like I know I'm kind of like I think if it was me, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'd be like, what the hell? I mean, Tiffany Nieves going in with Vic and the other guy. Oh, anyway, let's digress and move on from that. Anyway, the long story short is Carly wants to get back into the wheel reading. She was willing to do anything, and basically he said no, but she kind of that they couldn't stop the family from giving any money away that they technically win. But that was that.
I just want to see if this comes to a conclusion or whether it gets dropped.
I thought it would have already done so because when we're at 77 next week, I
Well,
thought by
that's it. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of it, if anything.
or if it just disappears like a lot of other backstage stuff does.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll find out probably next week, to be quite honest. Next though, an exhibition match it was called. Kerry Morton, Boo Kerry, and Dylan McQueen from KFW. First time I've seen Dylan McQueen. He's a bit eccentric, isn't he?
A little bit,
A
but
little
I
bit.
like
I
this.
liked it. Hey, listen, I like it. I was going to ask one thing though. Is it me or is Kerry Morton put on a bit of mass?
I think he's bulked up a little bit. He certainly looked like it at this point.
Yeah, it did. I can't remember what part of the match it was. It was quite near the end. I think he was on his, I hate going for this, but when I say he was on his knees, but I think he was putting on a chin lock or something on him near the end there. And I looked at him, I was like, geez, you've put on a bit of mass there, which is a good thing. Look, it's what he wanted to do. Maybe because he's got Hammerstone, right? At 77.
Good possibility.
And he
Good
won.
possibility.
Um, I did enjoy this though. I actually really enjoyed this one. Dylan McQueen grew on me. I didn't necessarily like him at the start. I thought, oh no, this isn't going to go well. But then as the match wore on, he grew on me a lot more.
What? Like, I'd love to know Ken's mindset in this though, when he was pulling Dylan's shoulder up, when he could quite easily have got the like just toying with him like that. And the thing is, I actually thought Dylan, for the most part, was doing a really, really good job of staving him off.
He was. Yeah, he really
But
was.
the fact that that was like maybe at least twice, maybe I missed a third time, where Kerry had gone for the pin, was going to get the 3 count, and
Mm.
then pulls his shoulder up. So I'm like, what is he just trying to punish him? Is he showboating? Is he like? I'd love to know what Kerry's motive behind that was, because I think if it was me, I'd just be like, get the pin and get it over and done with. Why exert more energy than you need to?
Give me my money, Billy, in a lot of ways. I agree that there's also a bit more of a aggressive side to Kerry
Hmm.
in this. 'Cause you mentioned there about pulling the shoulder. I mean, he did on several occasions. But there was also the fact that he was enjoying dishing out the punishment to Dylan in
Yeah.
this. It wasn't a squash by any means.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Dylan gave as good as he got. I'd like to see Dylan back in the NWA if possible at some point, but maybe I would like him maybe against a member of the Lost somewhere, like a Misery or a Lev. I see that. Not that this match wasn't good or anything. I just see him working better with those than
Yeah.
okay.
And
But
obviously, Kerry got the pin on this, but
he
what's
did.
your thoughts on well, what I perceived to be a rather slow 3 count from Scott Wheeler?
Now you see, I wrote this down because that wasn't just the only match that had a slow count in ref.
And it seemed to me very slow and very deliberate.
I feel as if on the first one it was just because Kerry had pulled his arm up on a couple of occasions and the ref was kind of thinking, you're taking the piss again, or
Yeah.
are you going to give me that? Are you actually going to pin him this time? So I get it for that one. There was another match. It was actually the very next match, which we'll get into, that I felt was like, well, why are you doing it on this one? There was no need to. He wasn't doing that on this one. So yeah, that's it. Didn't annoy me during that one. I got it. It did during the next one.
But
Bit more.
it just seemed incredible. Like you see fast
Oh
3 counts and you do see
yeah.
slow 3 counts, but this seemed a very deliberate slow three. It wasn't like Scott was injured and was just like
Mm. Oh yeah,
slam.
well, one of
Like,
those ones.
do you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? It
yeah.
wasn't like that. I was
No.
just kind of thinking, going, what's going on here? Maybe I'm overreading it, but maybe Scott was just in his head going, "You're a dick, Kerry. I want Dylan to get out of this, so I'm going to go
Maybe.
slow in the hope that he raises his shoulder." So
Maybe he did. Maybe he did pick that. I just thought he was just trying to see what Kerry was going to do. So he was deliberately going slow to see if that arm was coming up. But I do agree that was a very slow, and it gets again in the next one, which we're going to get to now. Same thing happened, and the next match itself actually was Smalls. And now this is the thing that annoyed me. There's a couple of commentary bits that annoyed me this week, and this was one of them. Murdoch accepted the challenge last week on Powerr. He done the skit. He was
yeah,
like, "Oh, I'm going to do it. I'll accept." And on commentary, even before this, they were saying which member of Knox and Murdoch would it be? And it was
yeah.
like, well, if you've watched the VT,
It's the little continuity things, isn't it? But
we
then
picked
maybe
up on this
that's all
last
done
week.
in post-production, so they don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get where you're coming from that. It's a continuity issue.
yeah, we picked up on that last week, but I was just like, come on now, you've seen it. It's like,
We all
try and
know. Stop
yeah.
playing. Stop treating us like idiots. Stop playing dumb. We already know.
And they was as announcing, they even were questioning it when they got in the ring. But you could see that Murdoch was the one with his everything got jacket off and he was
Yep.
ready to go. Why would they? I mean, anyway, annoying. Trevor did obviously go for it. And to be quite fair, barring a little bit of Smalls fight back, Trevor pretty much killed him.
Like, how is it going to be? How is it going to go any other way, realistically?
It really was. I think the only time he missed was that bulldog off the top, where then Smalls got their little bit of an advantage,
Yeah.
done the
I know.
moonsault.
Trevor up to the top rope. I was like, holy shit, what is going on here? Man can fly.
He did as well. To be fair, he tried. He did miss, like I said. Smalls hit the moonsault, got a quick cover, and then a big boot followed by a clothesline from
Yeah.
Trevor. Got the job, and again, there was a slow count in that. That pinfall was very slow.
Do you think that's the last we've seen of this between the three of them?
Um, unless Smalls, I don't know what's gonna. We got 77 coming up, so that something may have to end. I mean, where's Stackhouse in this?
No, disappeared. Again, it's a NWA trait. They bring folk in, they do a couple of shows, or they'll do a taping and then they disappear and you never see or hear from them again. So
Because I would have, loved Stackhouse to have come in. Them two had a match, but I don't think it happens at 77. So
I'm I'm still just impressed that Mike Knox didn't manage to escape the cable ties. Thought he'd have been strong enough to
yes,
get out of them.
that
I
was
mean,
that was the
cable
thing.
ties, if you're going to have a guy that size tied to the ring, tied to the ropes, I'd be using something stronger than cable ties.
They called it handcuffed heat or whatever it was, and the guy was zip tied,
Yeah,
which is baffling. We go back to Morton. He did call out Hammerstone in the thing afterwards. So
he
that match is
did.
set.
He
2 weeks
did.
time.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing that match.
2 weeks time. Morton and Hammerstone. Looking very, I agree. I'm very much looking forward to that. Then we go to Bit Crush again. Um, Star, yeah, but TVMA are pretty much there,
Yep.
including Tiffany Neves. Of course, Vic was there. Has not been Tiffany's not been responding to the DMs. So she's got a new phone or whatever it was that she said, and that old ghosting chestnut. And then Vic said he has a vision for her, but it needs to be done one on one, which she
Basically
obliges.
told her that she could have it all.
Yes. The women's championship is what he was alluding to, even though she's two belts tiff right now. But
Yeah.
now alluding to the fact that there's a third, which will be the women's world championship, which, I think she's had a couple of shots, has she not? She took on.
I think so, yeah.
She has had a few, hasn't she? She at least had Kenzie once. They had a little
Yeah,
feud going, didn't they?
she did.
A little while ago. So, but we'll see. Right, moving on. This is another one that annoyed me about the commentary on this. There was this one and there's one more. This one. Why the fuck are they saying Damian Fenrir is a new guy in the NWA?
He's been there before.
They were like, "Welcome to the NWA," and Billy was like, "Oh yeah, I scoured him for ages before I signed him." The motherfucker's been on about 4 shows.
Oh, it's like we've forgotten.
Like,
Sometimes I think they think maybe it's because they've moved to the Roku that they think it's all new viewers. They forget there's people been watching for a long time and have seen him before.
I was just like, this guy fought Alex Taylor for the junior heavyweight championship one. A couple,
Yeah.
well, might be a good few episodes back now. Anyway, he's taking on Nic Swift. Was this newcomer, Damian Fenrir, that we've never heard of before. Uh, tell you what, though, um, I thought this was the best match on the show.
What I
Really
saw of
enjoyed
it
it.
was good.
Now, I know your feed cut out during this. They've announced a scramble match at 77.
Okay, did
Winner
not
takes
was
on.
not aware of that. Okay.
Winner takes on AT for the
Ooh.
or as long as AT beats Rich Swann, of course, because he's got Rich Swann
Yeah.
77. This was a good showcase of Fenrir. I like Fenrir. We didn't. I think in the past, because it was always in a losing effort, we didn't really get to see enough of what he's got in his arsenal. It was always a
Hmm.
good little. You have a spell, and then the other guy, obviously AT in the last case, wins. There's a good buckshot lariat in this. Billy was really hyping him up, Fenrir. That is.
Okay.
I don't know whether he signed an actual contract. That's how it was. That's how it was coming across that he signed a contract.
Interesting. So we may see some more of them then.
Maybe, possibly. Sit up powerbomb wins it for Fenrir, and then they said, "Welcome to the NWA," and I was like, "What the fuck are we doing here? Like, are we
Or
like?"
was that aimed at Nic Swift with the power
No,
bomb?
no, it wasn't.
No?
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. This was aimed at Fenrir. And I was just like, as I said, this motherfucker's been on like 4 or 5 times before.
He's
Fair enough.
not a
New to,
newbie.
yeah, he's no newbie. He's maybe a newbie to the Roku fans, and but as you say, there's plenty of us that have been watching it, and you've been watching it longer than me, that have seen him plenty of times before. But he is going to be a great addition, in my opinion, to the junior heavyweight division that
Yeah,
apparently he's in, even though he looks like a little bit like a heavyweight. But enjoyed him. Think he's got a good future. He's in the right company to progress. I
absolutely.
just worry that when you look at that roster, and there's a question I was going to ask you before, actually, going back to it quickly, and I've asked you this before, but I thought I'd ask it again. Kerry Morton in the heavyweight championship, when does he get positioned into that particular role or that particular division?
I still struggle to see him as the world's heavyweight champion.
I don't. I don't know
I
why. I just
still
don't.
struggle. And you didn't last time either. You were, but I don't know
Yeah.
why I struggle to see him. I just Kerry's grown on me, right? The Southern Six have grown on me, and I still go boo Kerry, but he's grown on me, right? I'm not going to say that I'm his biggest fan or anything, but I can respect what he does in the ring and everything. He's super talented. I just can't see him as it. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can picture people with the belt, and I just can't picture him with that.
See, I feel the same with Sami Zayn, WWE.
So it's not a particular thing. I don't know, like maybe that's why he's bulking up. He
Maybe.
just doesn't. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just can't see him with a belt. I could see him with the national championship or anything like that, but I can't see him with the £10 gold.
Interesting. Interesting. But it'd be interesting with Fenrir fits into this eventually. Obviously, in the scramble match at 77, probably going to be one of the favourites now. The amount they hyped him up during this.
Do we know who's in the scramble then, or have they just
No,
said, or how many men it's going to be, or?
just said him at this point. He was going to be the
Okay.
one who. So we'll have to wait and see when it airs. And well, starting next week, but we probably won't see it next week. But starting next
No,
week,
it's 77.
yeah.
When was it though?
When it August,
August? Was it
August,
August? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, August time.
Okay.
Got a promo from Tom after that. Basically, well, Tom and Silas really. Tom was just going on about his match with El Dragon Nihan. Silas was basically saying, "Stop wasting my time. I want an answer with the title shot," which leads us into. I know you haven't seen this because I know
I know,
you're.
I'm really sad that I never got to see this, but
I'll
I'm
be honest
interested
with
to hear.
you.
You did text me, so I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, you're probably glad. I don't know. You're probably glad you didn't see it. This didn't work for me at all, and it wasn't the fact that Tom. You could tell Tom was trying. Tom was trying. It was too slow pace. I mean, I don't normally I don't mind big meaty men, right? That was no. Let me rephrase that. Normally I don't mind. No, normally I don't mind a
Keep that,
meat
can
fest
we
in the
clip that one,
ring.
please?
Yeah, we'll edit that. No, we won't. But normally I don't mind, the whole meat slapping match that we have with the two big guys. Normally I don't mind that. Um, it just, it, I nearly turned it off at some point. I nearly tried to skip it.
Wow, okay, that's
Um,
interesting because I don't think I've ever heard you say that about a match on NW before.
I hadn't done, and I nearly did. It just that the chemistry wasn't there. We knew I mean, they basically said throughout the whole of this show that Latimer was taking on Silas, and then just as this match started, it's like, oh well, if Dragon wins, it was like, well, you've just basically said that.
Yeah, you've given, yeah.
So I knew Tom was going to win it. I was interested to see how he's going to hit the brighter side of suffering on him, and that's probably the reason why I kept it on.
Okay.
Um, to see if he did.
What was the dynamics like terms of size wise and things? Are they similar stature? Like it was hard to tell
El
because when I
Dragon,
saw El Dragon last week, it was
yeah,
just him, so it's really hard to see when they're not on the screen together. So
El Dragon was bigger than him in height. Latimer probably come up to around his nose, maybe a bit less.
okay. Tom's tall,
Yeah,
so
Tom's
he
a
must
big
be a
lump.
good
Yeah,
height.
and in terms of I mean, in terms of like mass, like not muscle mass, but mass.
Yeah.
I mean, Dragon was just Jesus. I mean, Tom's chiseled out of stone. We know that, but Dragon was just a big old beef. Um, they done. There's little bits in this. Tom hit a spinning wheel kick. I've never seen him hit that before.
Okay.
Again, this isn't a hit on Tom. You can tell he was trying, but it just wasn't working. Whatever they were trying to do, just for me, didn't work at all.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting. I will see if I can try and get hold of it to watch it because now I'm intrigued after hearing that.
yeah. I mean, if you do get a chance, then I kind of guessed how he was going to do the bright side of suffering in the end. And I went halfway through the match. I was like, how's he going to hit this? How's he going to hit this? And I always remember how Undertaker used to hit it on the Rikishi and people like that. They used to have him in the corner, and he used to, and that's exactly what happened. He was in the
Right, right.
corner, and Tom hits the bright side of suffering. But it was the end. The best part of the match was the end, and it wasn't because it was the end of the match. It was because
Are
of
you
what
sure
in.
about
Well, it
that?
would have been had that been the end of Power, but Power ended in absolute chaos
Oh
and
no,
anarchy
what did I
at
miss?
the end of this. The Southern Six come out to attack Latimer. Out
Hmm?
comes Rich Swann. Out comes Drake. Out. Pretty much the whole locker room disperses onto the power station. You've got people fighting over Billy as the.
Right, that'll explain the thumbnail on Roku that looked like there was like some sort of rumble match going on.
Oh, it was
I
nuts.
couldn't because I couldn't understand that when I went on to Roku to watch it, the thumbnail was
Yeah.
like a rumble and there was like 20 folk in the ring and I was like, that's not this week. But that'll explain that, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was nuts at the end of it. It was absolutely crazy. So the ending was really, really good. I will say that. Unfortunately, the match prior to that was a bit of a letdown.
Did it cut off with that still going on in the ring
Yeah,
or
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how yeah, they didn't get it under control before it went away, before it went off. It
Okay.
was, I would say they were fighting over Billy. They were like all over the place at the end, at the end of it, which was really, really cool. Sets it up quite nicely for 77. I mean, as I said, everyone was out there. I mean, I say Rich Swan. I think the Lost come back out. Uh,
Oh, nice. Okay.
it just craziness ensues at the end of that. So watch it. If
I
you're
will
gonna watch the match,
definitely.
just watch it for that.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'll definitely see if I can get hold of it.
Definitely see that. But as we said, that was the final week of NWA Power before we get to 77, which is next week on Roku. Hopefully, Fee, you'll be able to see it all next week.
Fingers
Before we
crossed.
get there, though, what have you got coming up on your to-do list?
My to-do list. We'll just stick to the wrestling one. We'll not stick to life. Um,
Yeah.
WPL this weekend. So tomorrow we're in Stirling with All Thriller, and it's a fans decide card
Oh,
basically. So there's
geez.
lots of stipulations, and I'm very excited because it means I am up for potentially refereeing a match tomorrow night.
Oh, you may have a change of
I
job
may
role.
get some zebra stripes on. So I will it's between Hugo Harris and Mark Monroe.
Right.
Hugo Harris has had some beef with, let's just say, the females involved in W3L over the
Oh.
last several months. He's not made any friends. He's made quite a few enemies.
Oh.
Um, Myself, the merch manager Amelia and the tour manager Claire are all up for the run-in because he's pretty much verbally at least abused us on multiple occasions or during the shows and things. I have managed to slap him a couple of times, which is good. I've had some altercations with him doing the backstage interviews and things.
Oh.
He's a bit of a misogynist, a bit of an egomaniac. So yeah, the fans get to decide which one of the three of us gets to ref his match. Now, Mark Monroe is someone that I have travelled a lot with and worked a lot of shows with. To be fair, I have worked a lot of shows with Hugo as well. But if I am lucky enough to be referee for that match, I will absolutely call it down the middle.
Vote for Fee. That's the question, right? Oh, that's not the question, but that's the way, right? Vote for Fee.
Yeah. But there are a whole ton of other matches where the fans are getting to decide stipulations and things like that. So that's going to be fun. So that's in Stirling tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, W3L Showdown rolls into Leith, close to Edinburgh. So that's this weekend. Next weekend, and I know I'll talk about it next week as well. Next weekend's a huge weekend. Friday, the 24th of October is our annual Maximum Impact show for Premier British Wrestling. Huge, huge show at Greenock Town Hall. I am very, very excited for that. We have our annual King of Cruisers match as well, which will be good.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. And then on Saturday, my local, like my first home in wrestling, my first ever British Championship wrestling, we are back in my hometown on Saturday the 25th. We have Wolfgang returning to his home promotion, the place where he started. So super, super excited for that. East Kilbride's always a ton of fun. It's my hometown. It's 5 minutes from my house. I love it. And there's no barriers. It's like a little, I've told you before, I think it's like a
Yes.
little community hall. There's no barriers. If you're in the front row, you are in the show with so good. And we've only got 34 tickets left for that. Well, this morning there was only 34 tickets for that, so we're heading for another sellout. So that'll be fun.
Excellent. Say hello to Wolfie.
I
Yeah.
will do. I will do.
That's great. Well, look, we've got some stuff. Well, listen, Ignite's the only thing we really want to talk about. 23rd of November. The curtain call on 2025 is raised. They've just announced Corey McRae's going to be challenging Taylor James for the Ignite Heavyweight Championship. But of course, don't forget the breakout finals. They will not be doing a TNA and have joint winners of the breakout. I can assure you of that. The winner of that breakout will receive a title shot for any championship or any Ignite or HCTV championship at any time. Of course, Aluna will be defending in a triple threat match against Chris Aries and Harrison Bennett. They're going to be the return of the Emo Hit Squad, or the Emo Squad are going to be there. Ted Sabin and Jack Landers will be there. I think they're going against True and Lacey. My favorite friend is back for another show. Can't wait to see. Mr. True. Sunday, this coming Sunday, we'll be at WrestleForce in Writtle. Myself and Rachel heading on the road. We're going to be doing free shows. We're going to be hitting free shows, so let's say. This one, and as you like to say, I'll say this again next week, but we'll be at RCWA on Saturday and then DKW on Sunday. So we look forward to seeing any of you, all of you there.
Um,
But Fee,
Can Sorry, I was about to
Ollie,
interrupt you there. No, I was just going to say, I just like to say belated happy birthday to the man mountain himself, Pretty Boy Smooth. It was his
yes.
birthday yesterday, and I didn't promise him I'd give him a shout out, but I thought maybe I should. So happy birthday, Smooth. I hope you had a fabulous day.
Happy birthday, big man. And for those of you that were waiting for our Exodus Pro review, it will be coming. We are just waiting to hopefully see it at some point. It was a good show from all intents and purposes. From what I've seen, the Carson Cup being distributed here, there, and everywhere since the show.
Yes, me
Um,
too. Me too.
so I'll be looking forward to seeing what has happened and how that transpired. I do know that Cristiano Argento reclaimed the Caesarship
He did
as
indeed.
well.
He did
So
indeed.
congratulations to Exodus Pro for a good show. Hopefully your show in December will also be on NWA's YouTube channel, so we go and check that out as we would normally do. If we do manage to see it, of course, we will review it when we'll give you our thoughts on there. So it will hopefully be coming soon. But Fee, NWA 77 next week, are you going to be here?
I'm hoping to be here if all goes well and Roku plays ball. Fingers crossed.
Fee will hopefully be here. I will be here. Make sure you are too as we hit NWA 77. But until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.